Hello, everybody. I'm recording this session from New Delhi. By the time you actually hear this session, I'm still going to be on the plane. It's a very long flight to go from New Delhi to Los Angeles, including the break time and going to the airport time and everything. It can take almost 28 hours. So you are going to be listening to this recorded session while I'm on the plane. But I will be reaching LA probably in a few more hours. And next time when you come back, you will get me live again. Although I'm not live right now, I am hoping to catch you in a very beautiful breath awareness meditation. I've taught you three different ways to do your breath awareness meditation. Method number one was to count. You take the breath in and you count, and you let the breath go out and count. The second method was to actually pay attention to your nostrils. You pay attention to how your nostrils are reacting to the breath. And the third method was the breath goes in and you watch the breath or feel the movement from the nostrils to the lungs. Now, today I'm not going to teach you a new method. In fact, I would like you to choose your own preferred method. And when we meditate together, use that specific method. But I'm going to tell you the way I meditate, what's my default way to meditate. Before that, I do want to mention one thing because I'm going to get rid of this thing on the screen, which you see to meditate. The reason I put it up there is to tell you that if you download this app on your Android device or on your iOS, it has a list of meditations. And one of the meditations is breath awareness meditations. Outside of this session, if you wish, you could use that app and you could listen to my guided breath awareness meditation. That way, no matter where you are, you could be listening to this breath awareness meditation. With that, I'm going to get rid of this specific line from here. And I am going to tell you about my default way to meditate. I always ultimately go back to, unless I'm intentionally doing something else, I go back to my nostrils. That is my preferred way to meditate. And there is a reason for it. This is the reason. My meditation training, or my first very serious mindfulness meditation training happened in a Vipassana retreat. Vipassana is a very old traditional way to meditate. 2500 years ago, it was originated in India. It flourished in India for almost 1200 years and then it left, but it had already spread all over South Asia and Southeast Asia. Burma or Myanmar now was one of those countries. What happened was Mr. Goenka, who was of Indian origin but he lived in Myanmar and had the good fortune to learn Vipassana style of meditation and had tremendous benefit from this meditation. He was sent by his teacher. He had the good fortune to learn it from this very well-renowned teacher. He came back to India in the 70s to start Vipassana meditation retreats. And because it was a non-religious and powerful way to meditate, his retreats became very popular and they spread all over India. He also started these retreats in other parts of the world. There's something very special about these retreats because one, they're free. You donate after the retreat based on your own experience in the retreat. And second thing, they are very rigorous, they are very traditional, and they are very, very austere. So for 10 days, you are totally silent. You don't look at each other. You don't eat that much. You don't sleep that much. You basically are living almost like a monk, and all you're doing is meditating. So my first Vipassana retreat, first 3 or 4 days, all you do is to pay attention to your breath, and Mr. Goenka ji preferred method is to use the nostrils. And that's how for 4 days, all I was doing whole day long was to pay attention to my nostrils. So since that retreat, this became my default way. Whenever I'm not thinking, that's where I end up going. Now, why am I talking about Vipassana retreats when I'm really trying to tell you about mindfulness? Is because mindfulness is really Vipassana retreats or Vipassana, but modified to suit our modern busy lives. Vipassana, the traditional way to meditate, is very rigorous, but mindfulness is heavily scientifically researched. And what the research shows that in order to get the benefits such as stress reduction, memory and cognitive better abilities, as well as to have better relationships with people, and above all to have a sense of well-being, for that purpose, you don't need to have the big long Vipassana retreat. You could do same types of awareness meditations, but like I told you, a study shows that 20 minutes a day, 5 times a week is enough to change the relationship with stress. And as I said, because it is researched, we can do it. If you want to totally change your life or have a very different kind of experience, yes, you are more than welcome to go to a Vipassana retreat. Once your brain or your body gets primed into learning about mindfulness meditations, the way we are. So Goenka, I am going to show you Mr. Goenka's photo, and I hope I find it here to share the screen. Now let me go there and get the screen on first, and then I'm going to share it with you guys. So you, in case you didn't get a chance to hear me properly, you can see it. I hope you guys can see Goenka's picture, and you can read Mr. S.N. Goenka. Mr. Goenka, or he's called Guruji or Goenkaji by his students. Mr. Goenkaji has passed away just a couple of years ago. But the way he was conducting the retreats, the same tradition and same everything has continued. And even if you are in other countries, you can check it. And if you want, you can, as I said, go ahead and do a Vipassana retreat. And now we are going to get to our breath awareness meditation. So close your eyes and relax your shoulders. Keep your spinal cord straight. And take a few deep breaths. And now, think about your preferred way to pay attention to the breath and start meditating with that method. Breath is our source of life. Breath is life. Breath is the most important, vital thing about our life. Breath is anchor. Breath is center. Breath is our refuge. And we are coming back to our breath. We are paying attention to the breath. How our body is receiving this most vital oxygen giving thing that our body does day in and day out, moment by moment, every moment. If your mind is wandering around, that's okay. That's your mindful moment. Once you realize it, aha, that's my mindful moment. Let me bring my attention back to the breath. Pay attention. If your mind is paying attention to something else, some other part of the body, if there's any aches or pains or any itching or twitching, just know you don't need to do anything about it. You don't need to react. You don't need to scratch. You don't need to get up. A little bit of movement to adjust your body is fine. But other than that, just keep bringing your attention back to the breath. Bring your attention back to the breath. Breath is our refuge. And remember, each breath is different in subtle ways. So when you come back to the breath and start paying attention to the breath again, notice how each breath is a little bit different. Your body is not reacting to the breath in the same way. You're not making anything happen. You're not making your breaths deep or shallow with purpose. You're not making them long or short with purpose. But they may become like that. Moment by moment, they may be different. Or the way your body is reacting to it, the itching and the twitching and the flaring or whatever you feel could be a little bit different. Just notice. Bring your attention back to your breath. Rejuvenation, energy, oxygen to the body. I take my breath in and I give oxygen to the rest of my body in ways that will be invigorating, rejuvenating. I'm attending to my breath just the way it is, moment by moment. This is the way it is, absolute reality. No making any story, nothing, not making anything happen. This is the way I have my breath right now. If you're distracted or restless or feeling a little bit down, you may not have the rejuvenation feeling right now. But that's okay. Just notice that your mind is wandering around too much today. Or that it's temptation, you have the temptation to stop. But don't. Just know that that is one of the obstacles in meditation sometimes. Your body or your mind has a habit of not really being acutely aware of these things. And so you may be tempted to stop or to get distracted. Just notice that and come back to the breath. Bring your attention back to the breath, here and now, moment by moment. This is the way I'm experiencing the breath. Take in the breath, notice, notice again. I notice if I'm distracted, I let go and come back to the breath. I notice if I feel rejuvenated, I smile and come back to the breath. Your breath, your refuge, and you're becoming aware of all the minute, subtle ways in which your body experiences this. And if there's any change moment by moment, pay attention. Bring your attention back to the breath. Take in the breath and notice. Take out the breath and notice. Wow, this is how my body is reacting to the breath right now. And the next time there is this little bit of a change, I notice. Attention back to the breath. And by now we have already meditated a little over 10 minutes. So I'm going to be winding this meditation down. In order to do that, we always end it with one line repeated 3 times with each breath. And pay attention to what you're saying. Realize what you're saying. Breath in, I smile. Breath out, I'm okay. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I'm okay. Breath in, I smile. Breath out, I'm okay. And with that, open your eyes slightly at first and then wide. And what you just did today, the beautiful breath awareness meditation, I urge you to do it outside of this session too. And I forgot to tell you one thing. If you do download my app to meditate and you go to the list of meditation, there is a meditation by Mr. Goenka. And if you want to listen to his voice and his way of teaching, which will be very different than mine, you can pay attention or you can do the meditation by using Goenka's voice. That will be a very different experience for you. What you just did today was you learned to focus or concentrate on the right things. Focusing and concentration, that training is the first step towards true mindfulness. And that's why we are doing it. In that process, you're also internalizing the message that everything is impermanent, as in it changes, but that's good. And the breath, the even simple thing as breath, can feel different, especially when you start paying attention. So, with that, I'm going to say bye to you. And next time, I will see you guys live. Meanwhile, do email, do send me your comments or anything about your experience, good, bad, question, anything, to meditate together at gmail.com. Number two, meditate together at gmail.com. And bye for now, and I'll see you all tomorrow live.